Well, hello everybody. Welcome to VR Master League here in the final week of the regular season. This is our one and only match of the evening in North America and across the league in general. It's going to be Chaos facing off against Wireless Jacks. To pull up some of those stats, kind of got away from it last week. So busy there with so many matches, especially towards the end of the week. But here we are. Get a good look at some of the notables for these two teams. And you can kind of see the similarities in recent weeks. Both of these teams winning 4 of their last 8 matches. And kind of trying to pay attention to these teams here. Comms are muted for you at the moment, but in the match I'm listening in and sounding like we might get a server change here, potentially. Looking for Central, I believe, if I heard correctly. Maybe, possibly. In fact, here, we'll get a look at some of the pings. Yeah, I can see why. Makes sense to me. So we might get a server change indeed. They're discussing, and again, it's our only game of the evening, so really it's not too much of a worry waiting a few extra minutes. But yes, so taking a look at said stats, in any case, Chaos. 4 of the last 8 matches, same as Wireless Jacks here, but Chaos enjoying wins against Boosty Boys, Space Force, Skull Crusaders, and High Voltage. One of their losses also coming against Skull Crusaders in those last 8 games, as well as against There Is No Team, Genesis, and Invictus. Now the note here at the end, you can see they're the crunch time kings, basically, of these matches. And that is to say, consistently throughout the season, Chaos is the team, more than any other team potentially. That just ends up in these late game scenarios that come down to final shots. It comes down to third rounds, overtimes, all of the above. You know, among these last 8 matches, 4 of them came down to game-winning shots at the end of rounds, with time expiring, with basically 15 seconds or less on the clock when those shots occurred. That's just how Chaos rolls. They bring it close. And the finishes to these matches are exciting, if nothing else. You know, some of them wins, some of them losses. But, I mean, Chaos, for that matter, they actually hold the record now. And it might last a very long time, for that matter. The record of most overtimes in a VR Master League match. That occurred back in around week 2, I want to say. And that went to 5 overtimes. And that's just how they roll. It's chaotic, but it's fun. Now, in the meantime, for Wireless Jacks, they are on a 4 of 8 win streak of sorts here in their last 8 matches. Not all in a row, but still impressive wins versus the now unfortunately defunct Nova. We got Gambit, Ne Plus Ultra, and Legends. So that Ne Plus Ultra and the Legends matches especially were super impressive. I mean, definitely at the time of those matches, Wireless Jacks not favored on the connoisseur vote, and they were a rank below. You know, both Ne Plus Ultra and Legends at the time of those matches last week were gold-ranked teams. Meanwhile, for the losses in those last 8, Wireless has fallen to Ignite, Instinct, Spaghetti, and Creamy Milk. That's right, Creamy Milk. Still Creamy Milk. But yes, formidable opponents. All of those in the gold division as well. So Wireless Jacks, I mean, they are right there, currently sitting at the first place silver team. Last I checked, and in fact, I can bring that up for you right now. And as you can see, the teams looks like they are switching servers, so we'll probably get into the next server shortly here. But I mean, you can see it right there. Wireless Jacks at 12th place, and all the teams just barely above them are the ones that they lost to last week, the last couple weeks. Ignite, Creamy Milk, Instinct, Spaghetti. So again, just a true testament to Wireless Jacks' progress over the weeks, over the months, how they've come together as a team and to really climb those ranks and just pressing on that very, very edge of golden glory here in this last week. So I'm just going to pay attention, make sure. Let's see. Got my invite right now, so we'll be switching up the servers here momentarily. And you can also see, though, speaking on these ranks, I mean, Team Joker and Kangarillas, they had that thriller of a match yesterday afternoon, and there was a lot of thrilling matches, in fact, yesterday. A vast majority of them super competitive, multiple 3-round series, multiple upsets or near upsets, had some overtimes in there. I mean, it was exciting. A lot of great stuff going on around the Echo scene on Sunday. Hence all the hype as well in the chat. We saw a ton of subs. You might have seen that in the ticker just below there on the bottom of your screen, where we had actually 46 subs total yesterday. And subs as in Twitch subs, not League subs. League subs, we have 50 plus in Season 1, but that's an entirely separate matter. But yeah, I mean, 46 Twitch subs in total. About 41 of those came in a 20-25 minute span in that Joker Kang match, as well as 4,000 some bits. So definitely appreciated all that hype, interaction, and the generosity, for that matter, from a lot of players. All right, so we are back here to a new server. So I'm assuming that we're good to go on this one. Let me just verify for posterity's sake. Those pings looking a lot better now compared to where we were. So yeah, we look good on that front. So in that case, I'm gonna let the teams know here that they can start as they please, and we'll be off and underway for our one and only match. So yeah, this is the last week of the season, regular season. Following this, we're going to see in the coming weekends some qualifiers. Both a last chance sort of qualifiers and a finals qualifier. So of course for that, the first qualifiers, that will be for teams number 7 ranked and beyond. Basically, it's open to all to join that one and try and squeeze themselves into the playoffs if they can. Now, meanwhile, for just the rest of the season, that's going to be what we're looking at, too. You might notice as well, you saw there on the intro screen, and you'll see it here soon, too, on the instant replays. We do have ourselves a new sponsor. As of late, Rebuff Reality, joining our other sponsors there, and Pro2 VR, VR Cover, and Fixed Gaming. And they'll be providing some goodies for you. To be confirmed what exactly soon in some announcements. But yeah, they'll be providing some goodies for the champions here in the first season of VR Master League. But other than that, yes, we're about ready to begin. Hello to everyone in the chat, by the way. Saw a few of you earlier on before the stream really got started, but we had Lulz in there, Saluna, Meatballer. We got Whoosh and Zenny Dude, Kung as well. So welcome, welcome, and here we go. Round one about to start. Chaos over on the orange side. Actually, you'll notice, too, Ascend is in here subbing. Very interesting and good to see. Ascend, most recently a Nova player, and we have Sir Dimwee over on Ne Plus Ultra. We have Ascend here subbing at the very least. It's good to see the Nova players getting on some teams as Akami just tries to go for that goal. Gilligan as well, but some defense coming in from Chaos, and they're going to get the nice defensive play to start this series off and back it out to the mid floor. So back to the defensive end, the quick stacks coming in from the Wireless Jacks, as is their MO and their motto for that matter. That's just how they roll across the floor with the stacks. But meanwhile, for Chaos, doing an excellent job as of late offensively, looking for the spacing. You can see now, just playing it slow and demanding that the Wireless Jacks play up if they can. Just going for a dunk opportunity, alley-oop perhaps, but Farafo was actually stunned out at the time, so couldn't really make a grab for it, unfortunately. So instead, they'll floor it to the other side to get it right back. Looking for the pass again. Here's Cakester, now backing it out to Ascend. So on Chaos's side, we also no Dano here as of late. Oh, hold on, a steal coming in from Gilligan. He's going to go for the three, and after a minute 20 seconds just about, we've got ourselves our first goal. A nice steal and easy open shot. Not too much sweat off the brow from Gilligan. 13 meter per second goal there. Oh yes, we know Dano. He's recently joined here on the casting crew just as of the other week, last week. And we saw him a lot yesterday, for that matter. But you know what Blitz is seeing a lot of lately? Those steals and specifically those goals. Now, the first one does miss here, but Blitz has been a huge contributor to Wireless Jacks' recent success. And as I say that, there's Akami. Successful connection. Gets it to Blitz, and from 1 meter out, we'll sling that right in. That's 5 points for Wireless Jacks, and a nice start offensively for them, just based on back-to-back steals. So just very good recognition there. Meatballer in the chat saying good cut. And yes, it was. Cakester here. Trying to get it to Dano. Dano finding the other side, trying to hit a cutting Farafo himself. But Farafo, I'm not sure if he's having troubles a little bit or not. Seems like just kind of looking in the opposite direction, not for the disc. So maybe comm issues, if nothing else, coming from Chaos. But they're going to try and fix that here. See Dano and Ascend, they're connected on that stack. And trying to get back here. Akami slinging it down to the bottom of the goal. Now, had that Geo not been there, that might have even had a bounce into the goal, it looked like. That was kind of going the right direction. But all the meanwhile, we got the Wireless Jacks coming back for the collection here. And Akami sending it deep down again, looking for a bounce shot. Won't get that one either. So pacing here, a bit back and forth. Admittedly, a lot of just deep spacing between all these players as Akami goes for a very gentle pass and a not so gentle dunk from Blitz. The power finish there for the 7th point, and Chaos yet to be on the score sheet. Got 6.5 minutes still left here in the first round, however. So again, to all those viewing here today, welcome, welcome. I know just in general, as of late, a lot more viewership coming in and engagement on the Discords, especially because of the Quest port, the Quest version going into beta, closed beta just opening today. And a nice shot as he turns around. Akami, how about that one? Another grab, a quick turn, and just found the 2-point goal. It's a 9-point lead. 6 minutes past here. Chaos, a bit slow to start compared to usual, but again, as usual, Chaos is a team who has just made it a point that they are a team who's going to stick in there for the entire series. They're going to force these 3 rounds, and a lot of the time, you're going to find those exciting matches. where it really just comes down to last-minute goals, last-second shots. A spin attempt from Akami there, but not really getting any space from the spin. So a great steal from Chaos, and going for the boost. There's some stuns coming out from Gilligan to deny one stack, but off to the other stack, it will be Cakester there first. Gilligan once again contesting, but playing very nicely in the passing lane was Blitz, as he goes for a very deep shot that barely dings off that post. That was a deep mail slot. And now looking for a delivery up high to the cutting players. will.i.am on the post, anchored down, and taking it right out. Cakester, no, for Rafa rather. Great save, and now Cakester trying to get a clear, and he does. Good defense from Chaos. Now see if they can get the offense. That's the key here. Turn their great defense into some offensive opportunities. A lot of times on these breakaways, if you do manage to get the save, get the clear, you just want the fast boost and just try and find that offense. You know, catch the defense off balance before they can actually get set inside the goal. Like right here, actually, in fact. I mean, a lot of pileups are forming up, so whoever has the disc and comes away with it will have themselves an open opportunity. Farafo, or Dano rather, trying to get maybe a goal there bottom, but will be rebounded by Blitz, and so couldn't quite get it there. But back on this connection, be Blitz with this slap into the hands of Akami. Akami having it stolen as well, so showing some fortitude here on the stacking end of things is Chaos as well, and Cakester over in the goal. But a lot of pileup forming here, and the dangerous thing about this kind of pileups, these kind of pileups forming, is just it doesn't give you too many passing lanes. So I think that's one thing that does need to be addressed here, as another steal being addressed and delivered on behalf of Wireless Jacks. It's Gilligan, 11 points. That's at least 3 goals now that the Wireless Jacks have gotten directly off of steals. And at least 2 of them courtesy of Gilligan, right in the same area, right around the outer edge of that left side bubble. So Farafa losing the handles again here. A little bit disjointed on that one, as the rollout will unfortunately almost go in there. Wireless Jacks trying to get back and looking for a deep pass, but taken by Gilligan. Chaos now all outside the bubble, so unfortunately out of balance. Ascend unable to save it. The defense there for Chaos all leaving the goal, and it kind of got that opportunity for Wireless Jacks to squeeze one through. See Venom in the chat cheering on Ascend for Chaos. Coming in here as a sub for the meantime. And there he is with the disc right now. So he's going to have to evade the stack. But again, maybe Com's not coming through there for Chaos. Just had a lot of time for that stack to collapse on him defensively and take the disc over. So yet another steal coming from the Jacks. Another spin from the Akami. That time not getting stunned like the previous attempt. He'll just get the goal. That's 15 points for Wireless Jacks. So Akami throwing in some flair, as well as maybe, I don't know, could serve a double purpose. Part of it to show off a little style, little steez. Part of it maybe to untangle. You never know. Sometimes with those little spinny maneuvers. That said, of course, with the Quest version coming along and the open or the closed beta just starting today, you know, wires are even less of a thing that players are needing to be conscious about. You know, I've been playing some of the Quest version here and there, and especially after some recent patches, I mean, I've been incredibly impressed with how good that Quest version is. Doesn't even feel like it's a port so much as just a native version of the game. Honestly, tracking is phenomenal, and graphics are fantastic. But over here for Chaos, they're trying to still get on the score sheet. I mean, 8 minutes now plus without a score, which, you know, based on recent play from Chaos, we've seen them come through with some fantastic teamwork. You have Ascend here driving on in, and he's coming from a team known for fantastic teamwork. And Nova, and almost getting a goal there, but denied by Will. And that is so tough, because that was a fantastic series of passes there. Looked like an open, easy goal for Chaos, and then denied the last second. Those are the ones that really sting, because you feel like, man, even when we do everything right, you know, as Chaos there, we still can't get the goal, and that's only thanks to Wireless Jacks and that awesome defense that they just played at that last juncture. So it will be tough for them, and maybe another goal to get the 17th point for Akami. Wireless Jacks coming here with a statement match, because nothing else, they've been overstating the last couple weeks that they can compete with any team in this league. You know, they played. All their matches in recent weeks have been against the gold teams of this league, and they've won half of them, which again, testament to Wireless Jacks and just how good they've become here in this season. Now for Chaos, trying to deny a Mercy potential. There's 25 seconds remaining and 3 points away from that Mercy, but either way, 20 seconds away from the conclusion of the first round. And for Cakester, they're going to get a tap out here, and just from the Chaos standpoint, you'll just be cheering on a more successful second round there coming back. It would not be the first time we've seen that from Chaos. Probably won't be the last time. It has one last deny from Will.
Nice save. Good round.
Definite props to these two teams for good sportsmanship, kind of laughing it off on both sides. But man, that is just crazy from the Wireless Jacks there, and will.i.am on that last save. So 2 times, Chaos got exactly the shot they wanted. The first one was right behind that, right behind the goal in the backboard area, coming in for a dunk just about, and it was stuffed at the rim. The second attempt came there from the barrier, right down the middle. And that was a good shot look. They had lots of angles, and yet that one was saved. So again, even when Chaos is getting what they want on offense, Wireless Jacks just stifling. And that's going to always just be a tough thing to deal with, because then you got to figure, okay, what do we do different? Because we executed the way we wanted to, and it still didn't work. So it's very, very tough. And yeah, full credit there to Wireless Jacks for the shutout, which is not something you see a ton of these days. But as I said, Wireless Jacks is a different team than we've seen in the less recent days. I mean, they've always been all about that teamwork. They've been a good team, but I mean, especially the last several weeks, they've just pushed it into a new gear. I feel like they're not making mistakes. For the most part, they're making very few mistakes. They're executing as good as any team you'll see in the league, and you can see it reflected there on the score sheet by the mere fact that no one is sticking out as being the lone wolf contributor. It's everyone on that team just getting the job done. But Chaos here, they're not one to be denied. They're going to go for some punches and look to come back. Some nice short-range boosts and some nice steals as well. So Cakester, some defensive strength to open this up. Very nice plays from them. Cakester's going to go for a deep pass. There's going to be Isend and Farafo trying to get the stacks, but unfortunately it will be Akami getting a clear right back. So Wireless Jacks now being denied the first stack, but there's a second stack actually denied as well. So again, Chaos putting out some fiery defense and some really good brawling to start off, but Blitz not to be denied. His offense has been heating up week by week, and he is anything but weak. He is absolutely strong when it comes to striking, whether it's up close or from afar. He's done pretty much a little bit of everything here when it comes to shots over the weeks. I see Whoosh in the chat saying they got good defense, and he says, I still believe in Chaos. Meatballer saying they can't get the defense, or can't get it past the defense on QB plays. And that is one of the definite problems facing the Wireless Jacks if you're any team. They're so strong on those defensive rollouts, and I always say it because it's true, without fail, almost every single match, once or twice, they're going to cause turnovers directly off those jousts on the defense. And here it goes for an open goal, and the very soft lay-in. Tissue soft from the Akami. Bless you, sir. But 4 points, Wireless Jacks here in round 2.
11, 10, 9, 8.
But yeah, Whoosh saying he still believes in Chaos, and I still believe in Chaos. I believe in both these teams for that matter. I've got to obviously keep it as objective as possible, but in reality, I love watching both these teams for very similar reasons, because it's one thing casting the matches at the master tier where you'll already kind of know what to expect and you know what you're getting, because it's these players who have been at that top level for so long. As the rebound goes out here for Blitz. Good pass over to Will. He'll dunk it right through as he floats on past the goal. It's 6 points now. But yeah, it's one thing when you're talking about the master tier teams. Your Jokers and Kangs of this world, like that match yesterday, and your Infinites, Illuminatis, Flares, all of those teams at the top. But it's another thing getting to see newer teams come into the league throughout preseason and season 1, and then actually watch them progress, from being brand new and being from, the bronze ranks, and then climbing up. You see them getting more and more wins over the course of the season. You see the chemistry unfolding, and that makes it really fun, because they start off as these relatively unknown commodities, and then suddenly you're seeing basically the future of Echo Arena coming to fruition. So it's always an enjoyable thing for me, and hence why I especially like casting matches like this one, because it's a good, especially in this last week of the regular season, week 12 here. It's kind of a nice progress report where you can say, okay, well, look at what's different from week 1 and how much better they're doing on this end and that end and with these plays and that plays. But yes, Farafo here trying to make a play over across to Cakester. Cakester backs it. A very nice one to will.i.am on the save. Again, I mean, that one, granted, coming out from afar thanks to the good Wireless Jack's defense. So he had to shoot that from further out than he would have liked. But it's still another denial for Will, who, as I've also said in recent weeks, has established himself firmly as one of the top goalies of this league, in my opinion, because he's just stifled so many attempts from so many talented offensive players that is undeniable at this point, the kind of highlights he can produce on a consistent basis. Now, speaking of, here's Alchemy coming in, looking for some more highlights to the backboard play. They've gone to that a couple times, looking for the cross pass, and it gets themselves the goal. It's 8 points here for the Wireless Jacks in round 2.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
So again, this will be our one and only match for Monday. It's not too frequent that we see Monday matches necessarily. Last week we had none for Monday and Tuesday, if I recall, although aside of last week, most Mondays and Tuesdays we get at least 1 or 2 matches here and there. Let's see, Wireless Jacks get it back here. You might have noticed on the match, the pre-match notes that I put out, as this shot goes through from deep and just barely missing. Maybe rebounded here anyway by Wireless Jacks. So I'll get back to my thought in a moment here as the cutting comes through. There's a nice alley-oop play. It's Blitz, benefiting off Alchemy's assist. And there's a double-digit lead now for Wireless Jacks. Exactly, well, almost exactly halfway through this round. So if they increase or maintain that pace, we'll be seeing almost identical kind of turn out to the end of round 2 as we did the first. But anyways, getting back to my thought earlier, just mentioned the Wireless Jacks, kind of the early bird kings. That's because they're very consistently every week one of the very first teams, if not the first team, to schedule matches. They're very, very, very efficient on that end, so shout out to them. But over here on the shot, just missing, and positioning out now for the rebound will be Dano. He's going to look for a clear and maybe try and find some grabs here, but there's Wireless Jacks ever so quickly on the stack. They're going to get there first, and Chaos just a bit lagging behind in terms of keeping up with the speed, which once more is a consistent thing for any team who goes against the Jacks. So it's something you definitely need to accommodate for, and make sure that if you're making those clears, you're either very actively looking to leech off a Jacks player or at least boost with your own stack. Because if you give them an extra second or two to get those stacks first, the Wireless Jacks will get the disc, even if you do come out with some good defense. That's kind of what we're seeing from Chaos here, is playing some good defense. They're forcing the Jacks into multiple attempts a lot of these times and forcing them to back it out multiple times, but it's just they can't get the disc back on offense. Now there's Dano, another stuff from Will, and he is just a defensive monster. What more can you say? That is, again, a cork being put on the goal there on every single good-looking attempt that Chaos has had. Now, a great steal here from Dano. Dano's going to duck below. He needs to evade Gilligan, but Gilligan comes diving in, gets a stun, gets a clear, going to the mid lane, covering off Alchemy nicely, so Alchemy had to really throw that one away very quickly, thanks to the defense there from Cakester and Ascend, but it's will.i.am again. Not with the defense this time. He's just going to put it into the goal for the 13th point for Wireless Jacks. So defense, offense, you name it, he's got it. Definitely fully stocked on the statistics sheet. 9 points and 3 saves for Will. That said, 3 different players for the Jacks actually with 3 saves, so none of them slouching whatsoever. So the defense still playing dividends. There it is again. Gilligan with the stun, the steal, some more stuns. And you just kind of got to look here as that shot goes through. A nice stack by Chaos to get their back, almost headbutted into their own goal, but narrowly avoiding. But yeah, just watch that that positioning here. You know, Ascend trying to get it out for Chaos, but there's already one way back in the goal. That's a will.i.am. So no shot avenue. But just, again, watch this defense. There's a stack. A deep cross actually does meet the hands of will.i.am. But you can see Wireless Jacks here, they're not afraid to play outside of the goal. They're not afraid to trust their speed and their ability to get those consistent regrabs and stick together. That's the basically the key to stack offense, is that you want to be able to, as a shot goes through for Dano! Oh, that was finally found an open goal for a very rare opportunity. Dano, the great hit, 13 points. So nice one there for Chaos getting on the board. And that's about the only way they could have possibly scored if Wireless Jacks' defense is any indication. Every other time that goal's been covered, the shot attempts have been stuffed. So they'll be happy to find that. But over to the midfield again, Wireless Jacks encroaching on the offense. Gilligan's stun. Chaos has definitely been doing a great job of that now. Just getting those stuns and the stacks a bit quicker this round, so they might even find themselves with another opportune time for a goal. Dano holding on to it a bit long, though, missing Farafo on the left side cut. Luckily, they'll maintain possession. Farafo does get the disc here. Dano's going to cut from bottom, and they have 2 back passes available. So let's watch the positioning here from Chaos. They're going to float it on over. A very nice delivery, just barely past the diving goalie, and Farafo puts it home. And that's 5 points now for Chaos. So finally, the cap kind of uncorked off of that goal, and they get a couple of shots here late game, but not a lot of time left, unfortunately, for a turnaround.
Teams have cleared the launchers.
So on this rollout, Blitz with a disc, or getting it to Gilligan over here rather, and now Blitz with a disc for real as Gilligan rolls on in, really maneuvering through that heavy defense, approaching at the boot. Alchemy with a disc and a chance here. One more goal perhaps for either team. And it'll be backed out here. And indeed, the stalling coming through.
Why are you guys stalling?
So, questioning why they stall? Well, why not is the better question. Definitely a tactic that not a lot of teams enjoy. I can verify it on a first-hand basis. You know, just referring to...
A little slower than we're used to playing, but it was pretty good.
There you go. I'm going to say Eclipse potentially grandfathering the whole stall strategies back in 2017-18. People didn't like it, and understandable. And frankly, I didn't like it either in the sense. I could understand stalling ain't fun, but as far as strategically speaking, you know, it makes sense. If you have a lead, you have the time advantage, you know, time's winding down. You don't have to force anything if you don't need to. And actually, it's a philosophy that does apply to pretty much all of... Oh, gosh. All right, well, you know what? Game is over. They want to play a third round, and being that we don't have any other matches scheduled for the day, I'm going to stay here. Why not? Teams shouting at each other through the launch tubes. That's pretty funny. But there are your actual game stats as far as you know, what they're going to be officially counting for. But yes, the whole stall strategy, I don't think anyone likes it per se. You know, if you can play fast pace and just score over and over, that's a lot more fun for most people. But just maintaining control, and even if the clock isn't winding down and stuff, it's just good in general to maintain some control. And really pick and choose your goals, you know, not forcing shots that are too tough. So good games. Again, this was basically just an exhibition third round. And I'm going to cast it because, again, this is our early match, so why not? Not counting for anything beyond fun, but we'll do it anyway. So here we go. Let's see what happens in this for fun third round as these teams roll out. Will be Farafo with a disc for Chaos getting a clear. Definitely kind of curious, too, just on that note, what players are thinking, you know, once this season ends, how they like this format, because I know the votes happened before Season 1 started, and people were kind of in favor of going back to best of 3, compared to the preseason where it was play all 3, and a shot maybe taken out there. Gilligan will guarantee a goal for 2. But yeah, kind of curious on what players are thinking, if they like best of 3 still, or they'd rather go back to play all 3, or if you want to keep, you know, best of 3 but extend the length of matches, for instance, the length of rounds. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that could go. I see the arguments for both. I generally prefer best of 3 myself, just considering, you know, it makes the games more meaningful, but at the same time, I can understand these 20-minute matches for these 2-round games, as some very nice passing is eventually stifled there by the defense. But I understand 20-minute matches being a bit on the short side as well, so, you know, it can go either way. Another thing to factor in, too, though, is also the fact that there's a lot of teams in the league. We've gotten more and more registered teams and subs, for that matter, since the preseason. More challenge matches as of late as well. As a 3-point shot is just going to be slung out of there. Denied by Gilligan, I do believe. And Ascend now with a disc. Cakester with it now, diving in, but being denied. Dano trying to collect it off here. Blitz playing some good midline defense. All of them really, just look how swarming the defense from Jax are. Sorry, I keep getting trailing off my thoughts, you know, trying to not ramble too much, but also focus on the plays. But I mean, with all these teams, all these new challenge matches, and the fact that the Quest release is coming soon and only to grow, with longer matches, it will also, in theory, mean less matches being streamed, depending, of course. Now, we do aim to train more cameramen and things like that, and have that available. But it's just, again, it's a balance. We're not necessarily going to be able to stream every single match, especially if these matches start lasting longer, on top of there being more and more teams registering into the league. So it's always a balance that you got to factor in. But yes, just food for thought. I'll kind of catch up with the Twitch chat. Let's see here. So Whoosh thinking I should switch back to play all 3. And as a shot goes through for Akami, that'll be 4 points for Wireless Jax. Meatballer's saying, yeah, I want to be able to redeem myself in the 3rd round even if we lost 2. Which, yep, is definitely one of the arguments in favor of it. Because there are definitely a lot of games here at times where it goes just to 2 rounds. It's a sweep for one of the teams, but maybe one of the rounds or both of the rounds were super close, and you just feel like, you know, what if we can just have one more chance? But kind of as I was getting at it, some actually very nice cross passing coming in from Chaos. That was a beautiful roll up the floor for them. And Ascend waving his fist and his hands in the air at the Wireless Jax, kind of saying, hey, take that. But yes, I can see the points. But at the same time, though, that's the other side of the argument, too. It's whereas, like, shouting out Nova there, I think. Oh, yes, I believe the Wireless Jacks do have a launch they called Nova, so that was it. There you go. Shout out to Nova with Ascend on the Chaos side right now, and Sir Dimwee in the chat at that. There's the Nova launch, still staying alive in spirit, if nothing else. And there's a bomb there, a spirit bomb from Blitz as he gets the 6th point in this 3rd round exhibition.
12, 11, 10, 9.
Sir Dimwee's saying in the chat there, I wouldn't mind playing all 3, but not in a best of 3 format. 3rd rounds that don't count or barely count aren't fun. And exactly what I mean. It's just there's no wrong answer. There's a lot of good arguments to go both directions. You know, some of them matter more to the players. Some are more logistical, you know, in terms of how the organizers handle it. As Ascend gets the goal there. It's a matter of castability and how often you're able to cast and feature every team. So it matters in different ways to different people. And that's why league management is hard. But yes. Venom saying we need to protect Pally's voice. Well, on that note, as that shot just floats off there, we do have a lot more casters, 5 of them coming in last week as a good shot goes in here for Akami, up by 4. And again, for those maybe popping in, this is just a 3rd round exhibition. Wireless Jack's already won the first 2 in a sweep, so that's why I'm kind of slacking off on the play-by-play a bit here, just to converse with the stream. So, I mean, if anyone else has any questions or comments, or wants to be shouted out in a particular way, feel free to say hello. This is our only stream of the night, or only match of the night. As Will.i.am, that's not his only save of the night. he continues to roll on the defensive end. Absolutely dominant performance here inside the goal for Will I Am. The Iron Will, as I maybe shall refer to him from now on. But yes. Sir Dimwee saying, but I'm right, everyone else is wrong. Solid argument, I agree. The Akami, very agreeable steal, slowly floats in for the points. So that's 10-4, favoring Wireless Jacks in this exhibition. 3:18 remaining in this third and final round.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But yeah, still a lot of exciting stuff to come for VR Master League for sure.
Way downfield.
Looking forward to Season 2, when it happens. Not if, but when it happens. And Gilligan, he just happens to be looking for the goal and going for a well-seasoned 2. See how I brought that all around? Rest assured, there is always a way to segue into any play and make a rhyme at the end of the day. That is to say, the word play brings me great joy. But right now, a Cakester with a disc here. They're trying to deploy out here with Dano McFabulous on the disc. 2:22 left here in the third round. Having some fun as Dano McFabulous finds Farafo over by the Merc Island. As more time goes on, I can't help but think people will be calling this island the Merc less and less. Named lovingly after the Meta Mercs, the team over in ESL Season 2 back in 2018, as Gilligan does I don't even know what. Does a bit of a dance move, rolls around. Maybe it's a play call. Who knows? Hopefully I'm not exposing anything important there for Wireless Jacks. But Cakester, he jacks that disc here and gets a steal. But there's the immediate boost coming in. Backwards fling from the Akami. Up high, back to the wedge.
Way downfield. Orange catches the enemy.
Meatballer saying Lil Door going through the big door on the goal. Nothing but a one-on-one situation. And finally managing to get through the defense, which has not been a frequent occurrence here when it comes to taking on that goalie. But Chaos doing a nice job here. It's a 6-point deficit. And, you know, in this exhibition third round, Chaos keeping it much closer. The scoring output less efficient here for Wireless Jacks. And also pulling off some unique tricks, but Blitz will get the disc right back. He's going to be contested by a pair of players for Chaos. But you know what? A pair of players for Wireless Jacks contested by Cakester. Some great punches coming through. As Farafo now is going to eye down the defense here. Blitz taking position in goal. Maybe allowing Will just to play a little bit outside of that zone of his. So now Ascend with that disc here. 37 seconds left. And going way up high here to Dano. So Dano is going to go for a cross pass to Farafo. Oh, but stuffed again. Will I Am. How many times now? It has to be at least 5 times, I believe, that he's gotten a save on essentially a one-on-one play into the goal. I mean, just eyeing down the defense, making that eye contact, and then right in front, just that's the stuff. You know, stuffing that Thanksgiving turkey, as Dimwee likes to say. Although we're pretty far removed from Thanksgiving, so it's more like Easter turkey, stuffing that Easter bunny. No, that's horrible. Poor bunnies. But anyway, Cakester here with the disc. He's gonna go for a shot after the buzzer. Blue team, Wireless Jacks, they win, taking all 3 rounds here. But much closer and fun, kind of casual exhibition, and that was fun to watch. Like the good attitudes here shown by these teams. So, fun match. There's your final stats here. And indeed, as Mrs. Will says, Iron Will.
You look like you belong in bronze.
I mean, pretty much. Iron Will with the, Iron Shield. 6 saves. It's, as I said, a testament to how good he is inside the goal.
Good games, guys.
And
Good game.
all of those, I mean, were just they were head-on goal. They weren't those kind of saves where, you know, it was technically a save, but it was still kind of an easy grab, maybe on a long-distance fling or clear, things like that. I mean, a solid 5 of those saves were just head-on, and yeah, fantastic job from him and from all of the wireless jacks here as they put on the very, very evenly distributed stats. That is to say. Same thing here for Chaos. You know, weren't able to get the kind of scoring output needed to work through a win on this wireless jacks defense, but still, when they did score, you can see they all scored. They were all contributing points and saves and stuns. I mean, just good team cohesion from Chaos. You know, wireless jacks a favorite team here and high silver, but Chaos still putting up a fight and showing off just that good team spirit there, and also just the good game spirit. You know, no one getting super angry or tilted, everyone having good laughs and fun and enjoying themselves, and that's what league play at any level is all about. But yes, with that said and done, I'll go back to the stats screen one more time for you. Won't be recording the stats from the third round at all, so everything you're looking at here is just from round 2. Since that is the official game. At round 3, just for fun. But yeah, with that all said and done, that is the last match, the one and only match of our night here on Monday. Still got more to come eventually. Can pull up the schedule for you. Granted, there's still a lot of stuff that's yet to be scheduled, so not really a ton to look at, as you can see. I mean, the next closest match we have isn't until Thursday, which I'm pretty positive is going to change. I mean, we're very likely to see some matches tomorrow or Wednesday, as is usually the case. But that's what we're looking at so far. Eyeballing that for the rest of the week. But yes, Wireless Jacks will now improve their record to 13-11. So going 2 games above 500. And again, really pressing up on that gold division every single time they come out here in these last couple weeks. For Chaos, they'll fall to 12-17. But again, more and more of those wins, especially a little bit misleading on the record, because a lot of those wins coming in late in the season. And actually, before we even go, just one more stat I don't think I actually got to that I do want to take note of. That's very important to actually telling the people at home how good Chaos is and has become, because this is an important thing here. Okay, not counting this match because the stats aren't recorded yet, but not counting this match, despite the fact that Chaos had a record going into this of 12-16. Their plus minus, you know, the overall scoring differentials combined through all of these wins and losses is -8. That's it. They've only been outscored by 8 points, despite the fact they've lost 4 more matches, or 5 if you include this one. But despite the fact that they've lost more matches than they've won, 8 points total in differential, meaning that there have been a lot of matches here that Chaos has barely lost. They've been close. They've been competitive. They've been third-round series. So this is what I mean when I'm talking about how much they've improved, and why I also say connoisseur votes sometimes are misleading if you're just basing it on record, things like that, is because Chaos seriously knows how to compete. And they've been winning more games late season, and then the games that they've lost have not been by huge margins whatsoever. So just a very good stat to be aware of. But that said, that will do it for our stream here today. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Thanks for joining me. I've been Palidore. This has been VR Master League Week 12. It's been fun. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I'll see you all again real soon.